more than materialistic things. Knowledge. In fact, I'm a lot more proud of these 7 new bookshelves that I had installed.
Although mild-mannered professional wrestler Chris Jericho isn't typically associated with rebelling against the McMahon Empire, Jericho's books are filled with stories of him standing up to the boss and winning. Perhaps the most impressive instance of his defiance comes after Jericho received his bonus paycheck following his match with Triple H at WrestleMania 18. Jericho felt that he had been grossly shortchanged for his efforts and confirmed his suspicions when Triple H told him how much he had earned for the same match. Outraged, Jericho confronted JR and Vince McMahon over the issue face to face. Before Jericho was even done speaking, Vince had a new, much more lucrative, cut check for him on the spot. Jericho has since always been pretty comfortable in telling Vince McMahon whenever he had a problem with something. At this point in his career, Jericho can pretty much come and go as he pleases. Goldberg never needed Vince McMahon to become a household name in the world of professional wrestling. For that matter, Bill Goldberg probably would have become a big name somewhere outside the world of professional wrestling given enough time. Goldberg waltzed into the WWE on his own terms with a huge guaranteed contract, worked the matches he wanted to work and left when he was ready to leave. This, combined with the fact that Goldberg didn't immediately jump ship to WWE following WCW's collapse, made him a dangerous commodity in the eyes of Vince McMahon. Goldberg signed a 1-year contract with the company and his run was lackluster to say the least. It'd be interesting to see what the WWE could do with Goldberg if he comes back for one more match, as has long been the rumor. Screen, Stone Cold Steve Austin presented himself as Vince McMahon's greatest enemy. While their behind-the-scenes relationship was much more friendly, there was certainly plenty of animosity between the two. Austin was certainly a loyal worker, but he also wasn't fond of following some of the little rules that Vince McMahon laid down regarding things like dress codes and personal conduct. Of course, Austin's most infamous moment of independence came when he refused to lose to Brock Lesnar on an episode of Monday Night Raw, as he felt that the match deserved to headline a PPV. Vince disagreed, and Stone Cold packed his bags and went home the night of the show. Many times, Vince didn't really have a choice, as Austin was the #1 reason his company was able to win the war against WCW. Brock toed the line for much of his early career, but when the man decided that it was time to pursue other career options in 2004, he pursued them with barely a look back at Vince McMahon. Lesnar's considerable accomplishments outside of WWE allowed him to write his own ticket back into the company and forced Vince McMahon to put his name to one of the biggest performer-friendly contracts that WWE has ever offered. And Lesnar's control hasn't stopped. When would McMahon ever let any of his talents do something as much as Lesnar fighting in the UFC, while under contract? Lesnar pretty much has carte blanche in his current WWE run and Vince will keep coming back for more. At a time when WWE was dying slowly, the fate of the company was arguably put onto the shoulders of Shawn Michaels. Shawn rose to the occasion as best as he could by putting on unbelievable matches night after night, but he also used the opportunity to create one of the most powerful political factions in wrestling history. Shawn eventually settled in a bit later in his career but was truly uncontrollable for a few years.